Yes, we are live.
Hi, Saket.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So, how has the week turning out to be?
Weeks pretty much same, I think. I think we last met on Tuesday, just a day ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, back again.
Yes, back again. So, hello, good evening. How are you all? Everyone there watching us live, please drop a hi, a hello to us. Let us know that you're all joined in here in the session so that we can have more discussion with you guys. Yes, Saket. So, I'll just share the screen and we'll let people know what we are discussing today.
Sure, ma'am.
Right. Prabjot, good afternoon. How are you doing? Hello, Saida. Hello, Unnati. Wow, Unnati is here. Saida is here. Prabjot is here. So we have an interesting topic today. Apart from just the next level of preparation, the first step. I think we're discussing the first step of your dream abroad today, starting with all the examinations.
I think we got pretty late, but I think better late than never.
And definitely better late than never. We are just going to, I think we also had a lot of people asking us about these examinations, even in our last live.
Right.
Right. So
I think a lot of questions to be answered today.
Yes. So Divya, good afternoon. Shanpreet, good afternoon. Yeah, let us know. Yeah, Prabjot, we are all absolutely doing good, all geared up for the coming week ahead. How are you all doing and how is your preparation going? Where have you all reached? Let me know here in the chat. What is your preparation level? So after watching all of these videos, how much preparation or awareness that you have got into? It's like, did you understand? Have you all been able to shortlist your colleges or even know more about your CV? How are you going to plan your stay, your financial planning, which we have already done in the past? Has all that been done, all of you all? Have you all completed all of that? Or are still waiting? Okay, so I think they're all still taking time.
Yes.
Yeah, joining in 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're trying to be here. Saket, so what exactly are we going to tell them in today's session?
Right. So, ma'am, before we start, actually, one thing I wanted to tell everyone who's joining in is that a lot of students, I think we got a couple of students also asking me in the last live that I've not been kind of answering a lot of queries. So, guys, starting from next week onwards, every Monday and every Thursday, we'll have a video on YouTube, our on YouTube channel, wherein I'll be taking up a lot of your queries individually and answering them in the form of video. So even in today's session, we have a form floating in the comments box. It's a pinned comment. You can put in your queries there and I will answer all the queries in a form of a video and individual queries, not general queries, but individual queries. Yes.
Wonderful.
So that's one thing, one initiative we are taking to ensure that everyone who attends our session has their, they have their queries resolved. So do post your queries in the form, floating in the comment section. And for today's session, we're going to cover one of the most important topics, which is your English language proficiency exam and which exam you should choose for a particular country.
Right. So I think this is the first step towards their entire preparation, having an English language score with them and then going ahead with the application, applying to the colleges, and then the other financial, checking onto your financial status, the requirements, and then the visa and everything. But the first step is that you write a test. Sarada says not yet started. Prabjot, okay. So guys, have you all started preparing for any of these examinations? And how many of you do have doubts and queries on IELTS and PTE or TOEFL? Or do you want to know what's the difference between them? You're still stuck with one to choose. How many of you are stuck with your exam? Which one to choose? Let me know in the chat box, please. Okay. So I guess there's some lag. Yeah. Yeah, from the, while we are streaming live, sometimes it takes a couple of seconds for them to hear on YouTube. I'm stuck on 6 bands. Prabhjot says she's stuck on 6 bands. Okay. What about the others? I had done PTE with 75 score. Okay, Shanfree, 75. Good one. So you have already completed your PTE. Okay. Prabhjot is stuck with 6 bands. Yeah. So there are, okay, Duolingo. Are we also going to discuss Duolingo today? Many of you had been asking about Duolingo in the previous session. So are you all willing to give Duolingo, or are thinking of taking TOEFL or PTE, or are thinking of IELTS? What are you thinking of? Which exam is the best fit for Canada? Unnati, we are going to answer this question today. My question is GRE mandatory for, along with IELTS. Okay. Yes, Ada, we are taking up all of these questions.
Right. So, ma'am, shall we start? I think people will keep on joining.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. We can start. Yes, Saket.
Right.
So.
Right. So, like we already said that we're going to talk about 3 exams here. One is IELTS, one is PTE, and the other one is TOEFL. So these 3 exams, when we talk about these 3 exams, these are the top ones which comes to our mind when we are thinking of attempting an English language proficiency test.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of students go through this whole dilemma wherein they cannot decide which test to choose from. So in this session, we're trying to resolve all your queries. Specifically, if you're looking at a particular country to study in, then which test you should ideally go for. So in this session, I'm going to cover the major differences between the three tests. Obviously, then we move on to countries that accept TOEFL more than other tests, and then PTE, then IELTS. Then I'll also throw some light on Duolingo and its current status, as in terms of acceptance by universities. And then we give you a final verdict that which test makes most sense for all countries. If you're not sure of a country, then which test you should go for, so that you have options at the end. You can switch countries, or you can switch institutions as well. And then obviously we'll be picking up questions in between for your any study abroad queries you may have. So yeah, so we can start, ma'am, with the first slide.
Yeah.
Right. So guys, the major differences between IELTS, TOEFL, and PTE. So like you all know, they're all English language proficiency exams. So they all test your English language skills. Major difference lies between the testing time. So IELTS is basically 2 hours 45 minutes, in which you have 1 hour reading, and then you have 1 hour writing, and then you have half an hour listening, and 15 minutes speaking. PT and TOEFL, they're mostly computerized exams, and they're 3 hours long. But IELTS is offered in both computer delivered and paper-based formats.
Right.
What the major difference between all 3 is the examination pattern. So IELTS follows another pattern, TOEFL follows another pattern, and PT follows another pattern. So I think all those students who've been taking classes for these tests, they very well know that how the pattern is for the exam. But that being said, the major question arises that which one actually makes more sense and which one you should choose. So to address all these queries, let's start with TOEFL first. Right. So I think, ma'am, you would be a better person to obviously, I think you have more experience in this field than anyone of us here. So TOEFL, can you tell a little bit about TOEFL to students as in?
Right, of course. Yeah, thank you, Saket. Yeah, TOEFL is again another English language testing examination. So it's just another name, I would say. Nomenclature varies, again, the pattern varies. Here also you have listening, reading, writing, and speaking tests, just like you have in PTE or you would have in Ielts. But there's a slight difference over here. It is more, it is focused or it is oriented towards the academic skills rather than the general skill. So in IELTS examination, we have two different types of exams. One is academic and the other is general. In TOEFL, we have, it is completely academic test, and hence the level of difficulty here will be more than that of IELTS examination. And secondly, there would be tasks such as a writing task and the speaking task, which are also integrated tasks. So therein, where they'll have to listen to a conversation, read a particular conversation or article based on what they have heard and what they have read. They have to write another critical review. So it's all about not just writing the essay, but they also have to write critical reviews and also give critical reviews in the form of speaking as well. So considering that the difficulty level is more than that of PTE and IELTS, TOEFL earlier used to be really important, but now because many universities have started accepting IELTS too, so TOEFL's, I would say that I think it's a little bit waning. The number of people taking TOEFL has been waning for the last couple of years. But it is just about. Pardon?
The popularity has a little bit gone down. For
yes.
TOEFL.
Yes, because they have started accepting IELTS too. And IELTS and PTE are comparatively simpler than TOEFL. So it is all about the pattern, guys. And again, it is all about the academic part of TOEFL. So whereas that you will find a little easier in PTE and IELTS examination. However, the way they are tested is the same, 30, 30, 30 for all the four areas. They have 30 marks. Like we have bands, they have 30, 30, 30 marks for all the four. So 3 4s are 12, 120 is the total score. So anything like, you can say scores between 0 to 120. So anything above 100 is considered to be a very good score for TOEFL. So if you are taking TOEFL, you will have to keep your target should be 100 plus for TOEFL in order to get into a good university.
Right. Right. And ma'am, correct me if I'm wrong. I think TOEFL is entirely based on American English as well, right?
Yeah, it is a lot based on the American English because it is conducted by ETS. So yes, right. It has the more, it is more oriented towards the American English.
Right. So I think ma'am has answered a lot of questions here that, what exactly TOEFL is. So it's conducted by ETS, and ETS also conducts the GRE exam, like we all know. Scores, they range between 0 to 120, like we have 30, 30 each for all four modules. For countries accepting TOEFL, I think the first country which comes to mind is US, because TOEFL is an American test. So it's pretty natural that all US universities accept TOEFL. And historically, if you see that most students who prefer studying in US, and even now, someone who's looking at US as a destination, they prefer TOEFL. Yes. Also, a lot has changed in terms of TOEFL's acceptance as well. Now, a lot of British universities and Canadian colleges also accept TOEFL. But the biggest challenge for TOEFL is, the test centers are pretty limited. So you might not be able to find a test center near your home. So someone who comes from a tier 2 city in India, so they might not have a TOEFL test center near to their place. So that is what, the limited reach is there. And lastly, I would say TOEFL is not recommended for someone actually wanting to go to Canada. And the reason is, as we all know, the Canada, for Indian students, we have the SDS scheme, and TOEFL is not considered, the required test under the SDS scheme, because IELTS is the only test which is recommended for Canada if you want to go for SDS. And why you should go for SDS, I'll cover that in the later slides.
Right. So that was all about TOEFL. So we have a question from Bishwajit, IELTS or TOEFL to apply in multiple countries. So as we go ahead, Bishwajit, keep making a note of what we are saying right now. So we already said that TOEFL majorly for US, not maybe good for Canada. So keep that, make a note of that. So if you are planning for Canada, then TOEFL may not be your first, may not be your first choice. Yes, any information regarding PNP related courses, right? We will come to that also. So we have a quest for you. The highest you can score in TOEFL is, I already have mentioned that what is it that you can score the highest in TOEFL? And it was also given in the previous slide. Let us know. Yes, Poojan, Hemant, Bishwajit, Mannant, Sayada, Unnati, Kalpesh, come on, let us know what is it that you can score the maximum here in TOEFL. And I can tell you that, yes, I have come across someone who scored full 120 on 120. That's rare, but then again, like in IELTS 2, 9 bands, there are some people who score 9 bands. So even in TOEFL, there are some people who can score a full mark. And what is that? Abhay says D, Sayada says D. Yes. What about the others? Are you all waiting? Still waiting, thinking? Yes, Sujata, absolutely.
120.
120, Divya, because that's the highest score. And there are people who score 120, 119. Yes, there are people. So anyone can score if the proficiency level is good.
Right.
Yes. Right. So that was about TOEFL. Moving to countries accepting PTE.
Right. So before I start talking about PTE, I would like to repeat an announcement here that there is a form floating in your pinned comments. So starting next week, I'm going to address all your queries individually in a form of video. So if you can put in your queries, your name, and all the required information in that form, and start looking out, watching our YouTube channel from Monday onwards. And I'll be answering all the queries individually twice a week, which is Monday and Thursday. So please do fill the form as you watch the session, and I'll be happy to answer any detailed query you may have. So let's carry on with the presentation now. So we talk about PTE, which is Pearson Test of English, pretty straightforward, conducted by Pearson. And it's a very, I would say, it's the latest entry into the English language proficiency test, sort of, because IELTS and TOEFL are pretty old, as but PT kind of came in, I think, in the early 2000s or something, and it's entirely computerized test, no paper-based test, and the results are available in just 5 days. Little bit cheaper as well as compared to IELTS. If you talk about money, score range, the minimum you have is 10 and the maximum you have is 90. It's an entirely computerized test, like I said. And in terms of acceptance, a lot of countries do accept PT, but when we talk about US, there are few colleges and universities that will accept PT, but it's not as widely accepted as, say, TOEFL or maybe IELTS. But when we talk about Australia and New Zealand, these are the two countries wherein every university and college will accept PT, and it is okay for the visa purposes as well. So if you need PT for Australia and New Zealand, you can very well go ahead with it. UK has started accepting PT, recently. A lot of universities, good ones even, they have started accepting the test. Some colleges in Canada also accept PT, but like I said, like TOEFL, PT is also not recommended for Canada, obviously because of the SDS scheme. So we'll cover that later in the IELTS part when we talk about IELTS.
Right. So TOEFL, you know that US, PTE mainly for Australia and New Zealand. Yes, some universities do accept, but then you have to be careful whether they do accept or not. So otherwise, for Australia and New Zealand, you can go ahead and apply for PTE. Right. Yeah. So, Saket, but I fairly love the pattern of PT exam. It's really very interesting because the student does not have to fear that he'll be scored only for speaking or only for listening or for writing or only for listening. But then the scores are spread across all the 4 sections in such a way of PT exam is that you just go ahead, give your test, and you may feel that you don't speak very well in IELTS examination, but then in PT you may score very well even in your speaking test, because there are certain questions where the question says that you just read aloud. So there would be a paragraph on the screen. You just read it aloud. It has to be clear. The pronunciation has to be clear. What you're speaking, the tone, and everything is checked by AI. But then the student is easily scored in reading as well as speaking, because you're reading from the screen and you're speaking. So basically, you're applying two skills over here: reading as well as So here, that's the.
So I think that is the reason why PT kind of confuses me the most. I attempted one mock test, I remember, just for the experience, and I found it very confusing, because I think pen and paper based tests make more sense. IELTS, I've been like, because I don't really prefer computerized tests, because I remember, and I gave GMAT like a couple of years ago, and again, that is a computerized test. And trust me, it's such a long hours, and you have to sit at one room and sit in one. I was like so tired, I want to get out of there. So I don't find it comfortable working on computers. But I think
that varies from person to person. And again, GMAT is it's more reasoning oriented exam. So where you have to really focus on what exactly is given. Whereas now that IELTS and PT is completely a different format. And if you understand the format, you will really love the way they do it. And another aspect of IELTS examination, that is CBT, is I love the UI. And it's so interesting. You just drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. You don't have to write the words at many places. You simply have to pick up the word choices and you just drop it in your blank. So I love that UI. And for listening, for reading as well, you easily scroll through, you can see the questions. And of course, GMAT, and there are different examinations where you have to really be attentive. You have to find the reasoning out of it, understand the inferencing and everything. So that examination can be strenuous, sitting for 4 long hours in front of the computer. But these exams are really, they have very short questions, so they don't feel boring at all, and very interesting UI nowadays that they have come up with. So
I think that's those really, I think people now, especially students, have got really technology
driven.
So I think that them, for an old soul like me, I think paper and pen, pen and paper based test works for me the best. Nothing, that writing, I think that no one, I don't think so the computer has it. So even today when I make notes, very, very small thing, I have to make notes. I have a diary. I don't kind of use a note, those sticky notes on the computer or something. I still have a diary. I love doing that. I don't know. That is why computerized test, I never resonated with them at all.
Right. Guys, so how many of you cannot resonate with a computer test? What would you prefer, paper test or computer test? Do let us know in the chat, in the comments, that what is it that you would prefer. Now that I have understood and have been training for all the 3 examinations for quite a long time. So for me, it's of course, now computer. I'm fine with computer because the UI is so interesting. Just drag and drop. I don't have to write everything. And it's like you're playing a game, those card games we used to play on computer. You just pick up from here, drop it over here. You pick up from here and drop it over here. So these are the
noise in my head. I'll not be able to kind of figure out what to put where. I'll get confused and I'll leave the rest of the exam, I think.
Oh, okay. That's even that sounds interesting. But yes, of course, paper. I do love paper tests. But it's just that now things have the way they have changed. It's interesting to even take PT. Initially, PT was I had apprehensions for PT, but then later on, as I got to know more on the format of PT, I think many students prefer just because it's really simple, really, really simple.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
So shall we start with IELTS now? Which
is again
one test. So IELTS, as we all know, International English Language Testing System, one of the oldest exams in the world. Not one of the oldest. I think it is the oldest. Correct. And it is owned jointly by 3 organizations, which is IDP, that's from Australia. Then we have British Council, and Cambridge Assessment, which is part of University of Cambridge, both from the UK. Globally, when we talk about IELTS, it's organized, conducted by IDP and British Council. But in India, British Council, after COVID, they kind of sold their IELTS business to IDP, and now only IDP conducts IELTS in India. Score range, everyone knows you can score from I think zero. I think zero is there as well, right?
Zero is there. Zero is for anyone who's not written the test.
The test, yeah. So ideally, it is around starts from 1 bands to 9 bands.
Right.
You have academic IELTS and GT IELTS, and obviously we're talking about students and study abroad, so you need academic IELTS for sure. Then obviously it's one of the most popular tests, and as compared to any other test, it's the most widely accepted test across all countries. So be it Canada, be it Australia, be it New Zealand, UK, US, Ireland, Europe, every country except IELTS. Even a lot of students, I think they were asking about South Korea and Japan as well. So there are a lot of universities, they have programs in English. They also ask for IELTS exam. So IELTS is even recognized in these sort of countries, like China or Japan, or maybe, South Korea, or a lot of students have been traveling to, I don't remember this country, it's Taiwan. Yeah, so Taiwan, some Taiwanese universities also, because they have programs being taught in English, they ask for IELTS score. So that is a reach of IELTS basically. And I think a lot of students would ask me about IELTS UKVI as well. So that's so I think I would say a few words on that. IELTS UKVI is only for UK, and if you're going for a program which is below the degree level. So ideally, you don't need UKVI IELTS. You can go with academic IELTS only. And there is no difference between UKVI IELTS and normal academic IELTS. They both are same. Am I correct, ma'am, right?
Yes, absolutely. The entire marking scheme, pattern, everything is same. There's no difference at all. It's just that it is accepted only by UK. So we call it UKVI for UK visas.
Right.
Hence it is called UKVI.
Yeah. So now, obviously, talking about IELTS here. So I think we have a lot of people in audience who are willing to go to Canada. So starting with Canada, I think anyone who's aspiring to go to Canada, please don't give any other test, because IELTS is the only recommended test by Canadian High Commission if you want to go for SDS scheme. So SDS is basically student direct scheme. And in that, your visa is processed faster, and the chances of visa is higher. So I would always say that go for IELTS if you're wanting to go to Canada. Similarly, UK historically, has been very IELTS focused country. So UK IELTS makes more sense, because if you're talking about top ranking universities, they accept IELTS. So IELTS is the way to go. Next up, we have Australia. Right. Yeah,
we have. I think your voice is breaking, Saket.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Right. You were saying something?
Yeah. No, your voice was breaking, so I was.
Okay. So yeah, so I was talking about Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, they do accept PTE, but they do accept PTE, but I would say always go for IELTS, because it gives you more options. Right. And similarly for Ireland, Europe, I would say IELTS again, and US historically been a Toefl focus market, but around 3,000 universities in US accept IELTS, and most likely the university you're wishing to go to, you will definitely they will definitely accept IELTS as an acceptable test. So IELTS, I would say, is the most widely recognized test all across the world. And plus, it also saves you from a hassle of, maybe you're applying to UK, and then at the last moment, you kind of wish to change your country to, let's say, Australia or Canada or anywhere else. If you have IELTS score handy, the chances are you don't have to reset another test. So you can just have your IELTS score accepted everywhere. So that is why I always recommend IELTS to everyone who's wishing to study abroad.
Right. So here I would like to add that here Vishwajit was asking that which exam, then which multiple countries accept. So it is IELTS that is accepted by multiple countries, and hence you can call it the universal exam, through which you can apply to most of the, I think all of the countries, I guess, right, Saket? That's what we should say, universal, right? So Vishwajit, your question answered now, that IELTS is the most accepted exam, hence you should go for IELTS. So we have Sujata asking, so for US universities, can we just write IELTS and forget about Toefl?
Yes, you can. That wouldn't be a problem at all, because like I said, 3,000 plus universities, and that includes top universities like Harvard, NYU, all these universities, they accept IELTS. So even if you have IELTS score, you don't have to give TOEFL. Yeah, but obviously the other tests may come into picture because some universities might require you to sit for SAT or ACT, or maybe if you're going at a graduate level, you might need GMAT or GRE, depending on the institution you're going to. But yeah, with IELTS, you're pretty good to go.
Right. Okay. So Dinesh, this question comes up in the upcoming slides about Duolingo. So we will be going to the next slides where you will get to know more on the Duolingo question as well. So guys, IELTS, check what is the band requirement, but we are going to tell you that in the upcoming slides as well. So just stay there and we are coming up more questions. So here we have another question for you. Which of these countries offer IELTS waivers? Do we also have IELTS waivers? Yes, a lot of people have been asking us about the waivers thing, that can I go without IELTS? Can I go without IELTS? Can I go without IELTS? So are you aware of the countries that offer IELTS waivers? The UK, Australia, Canada, or all of the above? Which one? Let us know. Type in your comments. Type in the comments. I think, I think one important thing about IELTS examination is it's not just IELTS, but TOEFL and PTE, for all of them. You have to cross that proficiency mark. And that proficiency mark is TOEFL has certain requirements that it should be 100, it should be 95, 90, what should it be? And then there is IELTS that also has specific band requirements. Similarly with PTE, it also has specific scoring that you require to go to fly as a student. So Abhay, yes, for Canada, yes, let us know, Abhay, what is the answer for you? Abhay is saying Canada. Canada offers IELTS waivers. Sayada also says that Canada offers IELTS waivers. So we have two people letting us know. What about the others? Are you really aware? Not aware, then type no. We'll let you know exactly. And those who are those who have been asking us a lot of questions, you can please put your questions in the form provided to you in the that has been pinned onto the comments, through which, and your best part is that your question will be answered not in a verbal format but in the form of a video. So you will have to keep checking all the videos that Saket is coming up now onwards, so that you can actually visually see through what exactly is your answer to the question. Is the answer to the question that you have asked for. Yeah, so we have only two people right now answering. Canada, they're saying Canada offers IELTS waivers. Is it so, Saket?
Well, actually, I think a lot of, I don't know, that's a strange answer. Actually, I think I didn't expect anyone to answer Canada, to be honest, but
exactly.
The UK is one country wherein I think everyone knows that they offer IELTS waiver, but the correct answer is D, all of above.
There would be at least one.
All of the above, yes. So all the countries above offer some sort of IELTS waiver, but of course, the numbers of university or colleges that offer IELTS waiver could vary. So UK is more, I would say, on the higher side, but Canada, there are a few universities that offer IELTS waivers as well. But like I said, for Canada, even if you have IELTS waiver, university accepts you without IELTS, but you still have to go for IELTS to go under the SDS scheme, because that's a requirement set out by the Canadian High Commission. Right. So even if you're not, if you're applying for Canada, you still should be writing your IELTS to get into the SDS scheme. So that is the answer to this question. Kalpesh was answering UK. That was even a surprise for me, because I think we all know about UK. A lot of universities giving the IELTS waiver. So instead of getting UK as the answer, we received Canada as the answer. Canada, yeah. Right. Okay. Now comes Duolingo. So Dinesh, your question. We'll answer now. Right. So, guys, I think Duolingo has been a very, very popular test ever since COVID started. But and that was rightly so, because IELTS test centers closed and all these PTE test centers closed. And Duolingo, you could sit at home and attempt it. It was very cheap. I think it was just $59 or something. Less than 7,000 rupees. you could sit at home and, you can take the test. And, a lot of universities, even the prestigious ones, they were accepting Duolingo at that time. But now things have changed. Like, eventually we got out of lockdowns, and now things are open. The test centers are open. There are some universities that are still accepting Duolingo, but I'll not recommend Duolingo given the current circumstances, because see, today you give Duolingo and you get your test results, and maybe by that time your university start, when you apply, the university you're interested in stops accepting Duolingo, then you're wasting money technically. So things are changing constantly. Things are evolving constantly. A lot of universities are giving up, accepting Duolingo now. So just to avoid future disappointment and wasting 7,000 rupees, I would say pay double the amount, which is for IELTS, and go for IELTS only. So, but yeah, not recommend Duolingo now, to be honest. It's a good app if you want to learn a new language. It's available on App Store and, on Google Play as well. And someone who's going to maybe France or Germany to study, it's a good app to learn a new foreign language. I think a lot of people don't know that.
Right. Yeah. Many people are not aware of that aspect, that you can learn not just one language, but you can learn many other languages as well. Right. And again, other thing that I had come across is like Duolingo may be accepted by the universities, but may not be accepted by the visa for the visa application.
Obviously, when we talk about Canada in general, so Canada, if again Duolingo takes you into the non-SDS category, and then again your visa can be delayed, or maybe you don't get the visa at all. Because I think what they're trying to achieve by this is Canadian High Commission wants to see how a genuine student, how genuine you are as a student. So if you're following certain rules which are put forth with, by them, like maybe taking IELTS, or maybe, getting your GIC paid, or maybe getting your offer letter from a DLI, that shows that you're following a particular set of rules which have been laid out by the High Commission, and it shows that you're a genuine student. Absolutely. So I think that's how the kind of test. I'm not really sure, if that's the whole thing, how it works, but I think that's how the kind of judge students in terms of suitability and admissibility into Canada. So someone going for Canada, don't go for Duolingo at all. If some UK university is accepting Duolingo, and they've already accepted you with Duolingo, then obviously good to go, you're saved, you don't need to give IELTS again. But if you're planning to give an exam now, don't go for Duolingo, because things are changing now, because every country coming up, coming out of the lockdowns. Australia has announced 2-3 days ago that they're opening borders for international students. It's confirmed from December. So they're letting in international students. So most likely someone with a Feb intake who have already kind of got their offer letters, or maybe they're studying online, they may be allowed to enter Australia. So July intake will be a full-fledged intake. So don't go for Duolingo. It's not going to benefit you in the longer run.
Right. So guys, don't opt for Duolingo. You can go for IELTS, which is universal. You can go to any university with the help of Duolingo. Yeah. What is the procedure for MFA? Okay. What is MFA?
It's Master of Fine Arts.
Okay, fine. So now tell me, how should be your overall score in IELTS to apply for Canadian universities, or for a bachelor's degree? For a bachelor's degree, 6, 6.5, 5.5, 7. Guys, this I guess everyone knows, because even when they are in the classes, Saket, they do tell us, ma'am, but this is what I want, ma'am, this is what I want, ma'am, this is what I want, Mike, but Mike, this country is accepting, this country is not accepting. Krishna, can you tell how I can do MCA in Canada? Yes, Krishna will tell you just in a couple of minutes. But then let us know what is the Canadian. Abhay is saying 7 bands, 7 overall. The more the better. That is true. I would
more the better, but what's the minimum score? Minimum, I would say.
Yeah, more the better, but there was a minimum score. Aditya Pawar says 5.5. Anyone else? Abhay, okay. Guys?
Abhay has retracted his message. I think
even Aditya, I think they are rethinking on what they have answered. What about the others? Sayada, Krishna? You want to go for MCA? What should be your score in IELTS? Ankita? Kalpesh? Dinesh?
Okay, guys, I
Okay.
think most of them are not sure about the bachelor's degree, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So Abhay has answered again. He's saying 7 again. I think he's got back to the same answer. So yeah, I would say it's 6.5. So when we talk about Canada in general, so if you go for a undergraduate level diploma, you need a 6 band with 6 each. But if you're looking at a university for a bachelor's degree, then the requirements are a little bit high with 6.5 overall with 6 in each, which is again required for a postgraduate diploma as well in Canada.
Correct. Correct. So here, I think, Saket, people have a confusion is 6 in each and 6.5 overall. So they're not able to understand. Hence, they feel that sometimes they feel that even 6 overall is fine. So it is, even in the classes, I have to clearly explain to them that what is 6 in each. So there are 4 modules: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So you should get 6 band for each module. 6 for listening, 6 for reading, 6 for writing, and 6 for speaking. And overall, it's not that 6 in each. Overall band should be 6.5. That in itself means that one of these you will have to score more, not just 6. So 6 is the minimum requirement for each module. That's what you should know. Yes, Har Mahadev, it is 6 in each and 6.5 overall. Yes, Pranav, 6.5 overall. Yes, Divya. Okay, so I think this clarity now you should all have, that it is 6.5 overall with 6 in each module.
Right. And actually, this also varies. If someone who's going for a master's level research program, then maybe some universities might ask for a higher score in writing.
Right.
Because obviously, as a research student, you're expected to write dissertations or thesis, and you cannot be bad at writing. So they need to check whether, I think Royal Roads University in Canada, a lot of students go for a master's in global management. They require a higher band in writing.
Right.
So that varies.
And there are certain master courses, like I have different students from different for different courses. Like for all medicine courses, mostly they're asking for 7 in writing, again because I think research involved into it. And then I've come across veterinary students also, they have 7 in speaking. So it will vary according to what is the course that you're applying to. So you need to go and check with the university website also that what is the score that you require for your application for that particular university, which is the best.
General rule anyway, specifically for health sciences programs. And when we talk about nursing or maybe medicine or veterinary sciences, dentistry, these programs have higher than normal requirements. And apart from that, law is one subject wherein you need more band scores.
Yes.
So say in Australia, like if you want to go for a nursing degree, which is again a very, very popular degree in Australia, you would need 7 overall with 7 each, even for a bachelor's in nursing degree. So that's a legal requirement which is put in place by the Australian government. So you have to get 7 overall with 7 each.
Right. So verdict.
Right. So I think we've already given our verdict, and I would say it's Ielts for us. And I think no other test kind of matches up. And if you're looking for Canada, UK, anywhere, if you get an English, if you get a waiver in UK, or Australia, good to go. But if not, then Ielts should be the way to go. It's the most widely accepted test globally. And for Canada, it is the most recommended test of all. And rest, I think, talking about LEAPS, Ielts prep, I think Manisha ma'am can talk more about it.
Right. So I want to share something with the students. I'll just stop sharing this and share something else. We have an offer going on actually at Leap, and that is buy one get one free course. And as you see that our courses are actually extremely what should I say, that they are cost effective. Yes, they are cost effective. So the best part is that they can avail an extra course. What happened? Yeah, they can avail an extra course by just enrolling for just one course, right? So if you haven't started preparing for your IELTS courses, we have a lot of courses running through the portal. As you can see that the course is only 119, but if you apply the code MA Life 20, you will get one course for 95 rupees. And you can also avail an extra another course free of cost if you're attending the classes for the first 5 days. So as you finish your first 5 days, you'll get another unique code with which you can apply for one more course at LeapScholar. So with 95 rupees, you actually get 2 full courses. So next week, like after post Diwali, we are starting with 3 new batches of mine. One is only writing. So anyone who has any kind of a difficulty with writing, they can join for the only writing class. Otherwise, we have 2 courses for 4 weeks starting 8th and 9th of November. And we would be covering up all the 4 modules: listening, reading, writing, speaking, wherein you also get one-on-one listening evaluations, writing evaluations, LeapScholar resource material, where we have our unique student manual. Yes, of course, the student manual is very unique. All the students who have gone through our courses and have gone through the student manual at Leap, they've all appreciated for the comprehensiveness, and it's really succinct, where they just go to the question and they solve those questions. There are 1,000+ questions in that Leap student manual. So in 95 rupees, 2 courses plus the content, plus speaking evaluations, plus the speaking clubs and the speaking rooms, the writing manuals and the writing evaluations, everything just for 95 rupees. So for that, you will have to use a code MALive20 in order to apply for 95 rupees, right? So this is a new offering this is a Diwali offer for them. So yes, this is what I wanted to share with the students. So yes, at Leap, we have an amazing course going on. And with all the wonderful trainers that we have. We have a team of trainers, not just myself, but then we have around 15 trainers and the team growing. So you can buy a course from any of the educators that you like.
Okay, it works that way. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine. See, guys, I think this is the most cost-effective method of getting your IELTS prep done, because see, I think most of us know that if you go out in the market and you have to spend a minimum of at least 8,000 to 10,000 rupees for IELTS batches, and just 95 rupees for a 4 weeks batch. I think nothing beats that. It's cheaper than, I would say, Amazon Prime Video or even Netflix.
Yeah, absolutely. We tell them, actually, this is what we tell them, Saket, when we have the master classes and everything. We just tell them, so that you won't get, except for a roadside one-time tea, you won't get anything for the price of 95 rupees. So we have promo codes applied. So you have otherwise it's just 119. Otherwise, now for Diwali, they have an offer, 95 rupees and 2 batches. And for 2 months, like it's like 4-week course. So they are getting like 40 hours of live classes just for 95 rupees. Now, who gives them?
Yeah, you don't even get coffee for that much at Cafe Coffee Day now. Actually.
No, not at all. Nothing, nowhere. I think, it's nothing that you cannot buy anything in 95, but you can buy a LeapScholar IELTS course at 95 rupees, consider, and all the resource material that comes along with it. So they don't just come into the class, they also get speaking, they get writing, they get evaluations, speaking clubs, speaking rooms, and ample of other offerings that we keep having for them. And the student manual is just the new, the new Bible for IELTS that we have prepared.
Right.
So guys, yes, so there were a lot of people who were asking initially about their IELTS program. So yes, any one of you can join for the IELTS program at Leap. So what condition has Saket told you that you would you have to satisfy to apply under CDS in Canada? Yeah, tell us no. Brijesh Chobatia, sir, please give me answer. Answer. What question is yours, Brijesh? Sir, I want to do CPA, currently BCom pass out 72% and CA Inter fail, completed BCom 2019, 12th pass out in 2014, 12th standard 86%.
Okay. So you want to do CPA final, currently BCom pass out 72% and CA Inter fail. Okay. Brijesh, I would say you can, but see, CPA is again an equivalent qualification to what we have CA finals in India. So I'm not really sure, but as per my students tell me, also I kind of had a video with the a CA from India. She's currently pursuing CPA in Canada, and she also told me that it's pretty difficult. Obviously, you can, but be prepared to put in more effort, I would say, because obviously when we talk about CPA, even if you have a CA qualification from India, you still have to appear for certain exams to be able to practice, to be able to complete your CPA in Canada. So just be prepared to put in some extra efforts and start, I think, preparing now, because it takes a little bit time. So you would have to appear for additional exams, I would say.
So it's a field of hard work. You will have to work hard for it. We have a question from here we have a question from Sujal. Which course can I choose, diploma or bachelor's in Canada after 10 plus diploma in computer engineering in India?
After 10 plus what? I didn't get the question.
He has done 10th plus diploma. So I think diploma engineering, computer engineering in India. 10th
diploma. And then 10th plus diploma, it means you already have, you can go for a bachelor's degree. But I'm not really sure if they're going to give you like an advanced standing or something. I think you would have to go for a 4 years bachelor's degree only. Otherwise, you can go for a 2-year diploma, undergraduate diploma, or a 3-year advanced diploma as well. That's up to you. So pretty flexible that as well.
Right. We are already started. We have started getting answers. Har Har Mahadev says A. Food and Sayada says A. Sujata says A. Abhay says A. Akashmita Roy says A. So they have been paying attention. SDS, they should apply for academic IELTS. Yes, for SDS, you should apply for academic IELTS, right? So can we take a couple of questions? Not many, but then there are a few questions. So first question coming from another question. Abhay Thakur is asking Australia or New Zealand for MBA in HR and international business.
Abhay, right? Abhay.
Yeah.
So Abhay, I think both countries make pretty good sense. But if you talk about costing, I would say New Zealand is a little bit more affordable as compared to Australia. But given that, both countries have really good business schools. So if you're wanting to go to, say, Australia, you can select from Monash University. University of Melbourne is there. Then AGSM, which is Australian Graduate School of Management at University of New South Wales. That's the most reputed business school in Australia. That is there. ANU is there, Australian National University, University of Western Australia. So all these universities are pretty good if you want some affordable options. Then Deakin, La Trobe. These universities also offer MBA without work experience, and they're pretty affordable as compared to the ones I spoke about. If you want to go to New Zealand, then University of Auckland is good. University of Otago, where I studied as well, and University of Canterbury. These 3 universities are pretty good for MBA.
Right. What are the Syed Moinuddin Ahmed, what are the eligibility criteria to get admission at top business schools at Canada?
Okay, so Syed, I would say I'm not really sure which level you're wanting to go to, but if you're going for a master's degree, and that too for an MBA, you would need a very good GMAT score. In Canada, the top business schools include McGill, UBC, and then we have Rotman at Toronto, and then we have Schulich at York. So these are pretty high ranked schools. An average score I think they accept is 680, 700s, maybe even higher than 700 as well sometimes. Depends on what kind of profile of students are applying. Apart from that, I think you would need really good score on your IELTS and really good recommendations and SOPs, as well as a good academic score.
Right. Nice. So Aditya is asking, which is the best country for computer science and software development? I think this is a question we get every time that we are live.
Yeah. So I think guys have answered it quite a lot of times as well. So I would say if you're entirely depends on, how you want to approach, as in like, how do you see yourself? Like there are some students who are very particular about settling abroad. So I would say if someone is looking at settling abroad, I think Canada makes most sense, even for computer sciences, because it's booming and you'll be able to find a lot of jobs in computer sciences in Canada. But if you're looking at, completely from the perspective of getting a very, very well recognized degree, then US also makes sense, but the chances of getting, a green card or maybe a permanent residence is a little bit low. Australia is a good option for IT, and so is New Zealand. Europe, I'll say it's pretty decent, but at the same time, they don't have much opportunity in terms of maybe a future settlement, if I say.
Yeah. So Brajesh's further question is, CPA required 130 credit, but my BCom point is only 90 credit. So which prep course is best for me and which college is affordable?
Brajesh, I think if you need 130 credits, I think you can check out some PG diploma. So for that, you have to study in Canada. I think you can study in Canada. That will give you better prospect, I would say. So if you're planning, why not actually? I would have to see the exact credits because CPA is a professional course, and I think with the postgraduate diploma, you will be able to cover this much. And once you land in Canada, you're doing a postgraduate diploma in finance or something, and side by side, you can prepare for CPA. I think would be better, I would say.
Yeah. Agniva is asking, I want to pursue BS in computer science in US or Canada. His 10th score is 85.4, 11th is 77, 12th is 80. Predicted. Okay, I think it's 12th. Please tell some possible admits.
12th is 80%.
85.4.
85. You can try for computer sciences, I think Alberta or Saskatchewan. Both are good unis, or maybe even Calgary for that matter, with 85%. Yeah.
Okay. Sayada is asking, which is the best university for health informatics?
Health informatics, where, as in globally?
US.
Yes. Saida, to be honest, for US, I will not be able to answer it because I don't want to give out wrong information. I'm not, US is not my strong country, to be honest, because my expertise is in Canada and other countries. But I would say health informatics is a pretty in-demand subject. And if you want to study health informatics in Canada, that is also going to make a lot of sense for you because a lot of universities offer that. Especially if you look at Atlantic provinces like the Dalhousie, there are a lot of universities like the Dalhousie University and all that. They have really good health sciences programs. And if you pursue one of those programs, you can also get, an easy PR into Canada, which will allow you to move to US as well once you become a Canadian resident. So yeah, that is also one alternate option.
Right. Sujata Ravishankar is asking, which is the best university in US for masters in design?
Masters in design, yeah, I have an answer for that because one of my friends studied there. So I would say there are pretty good universities in design, especially for design students. I think the top one would be Rochester Institute of Technology. It's outside New York in Rochester, pretty high ranked, and they have a Dubai campus as well. In case you want to study in Dubai or maybe something like that. Yeah.
Saket, ma'am, I have 6.89 CGPA in bachelor's, which is less for masters in Canada. If I get admission for PG diploma in Canada and after 1 year of experience, if I somehow able to get PR.
Right, Sanket. So yeah, you can get into a PG diploma as well. For PR thing, I would say if you do a 2-year PG diploma, you get a 3 years PSW. And once you have the job and you've been working in that job for at least 1 year, you can apply under the Canadian experience class under the Express Entry program, which gives you quicker PR, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, so we have this question from Unnati. What do you recommend, masters or PG diploma for food science with 75% in UG 2019 pass out?
Unnati, that will depend on if you have a 4-year undergraduate degree, please go for masters. If you have 3 years undergraduate degree, then go for PG diploma.
Simple. Right. Yes. Harshika has a unique question. Should I choose Japan for IT, cybersecurity?
No, I think you should go for cybersecurity, go to Ireland.
Right.
Japan is, you'll have language barriers first. And I think for cybersecurity, data analytics, business analytics, nothing beats Ireland as of now.
Right. I know 150 people in the classroom, only Indians in Ireland for cybersecurity course.
Okay, I thought it was a question or something.
No. I said that only the cybersecurity course, 150 people, it's only Indian classroom.
Indian
Only
classroom.
Indian classroom. Means not a single student from any other country, all Indian students, 150 students in one
Ireland
class.
actually picked up a lot in
Yeah.
the last years.
Yeah. So yes, cybersecurity, I think what Saket said, Ireland. Is GRE mandatory along with IELTS, or is only IELTS enough for USA?
See,
We've
GRE
already
would be
answered.
required. Yeah, I think GRE, I think would be required by a lot of universities depending on what kind of programs you're opting for. Some MS programs will require GRE, so I think you would have to check with the university wanting to apply to. Although at this time, a lot of universities have given GRE waivers as well, but I'm not really sure if they're going to be carried
Continue.
for all 2022 as well.
Right.
But there are few universities that have waived off GRE as of now. Yeah.
Right. Akashmita is asking, what is the best university for Masters in Fine Arts? What I have to do for the admission?
Finance. See, if I talk about globally, I would say there's so many universities you can choose for finance, but that will depend on where you want to go. If you want to go to Canada, there are Rotman is a good school. Sauder School of Business at UBC is good. If you want to go to UK, then for finance, Manchester is one of the amazing schools to study. Then you have London Business School. In Australia, you have Monash and UNSW, University of Sydney, University of Queensland. Depends on where you want to go. And obviously, if we talk about US, you have Harvard, all the Princeton and Stanford, all these kind of universities. They offer Columbia University, they have finance programs as well, but depends on where you want to go. And plus, obviously, one thing which we have to also keep in mind is when we talk about these prestigious universities, then the fee is very, very high. So I'll give you an example here. One of the top MBA colleges in the world, London Business School, which is I think number 1 or number 2, mostly like in top 3 in the world. So MBA is going to cost you approximately 1 crore for 1 year.
Yeah.
So that's
yes.
too much money. So just make sure you check out relevant rankings, and there are some universities which are pretty affordable. So especially someone going to US who does not want to spend that much of money, then you should look at state university systems. Like every university has a state university system. Every state. So yeah, so it's State University of New York. You have different campuses in different cities. Very good universities, but at the same time, the fee is like 20,000, 15,000, 25,000. Like Harvard or something like that, it crosses 50K. So it's all Harvard is like almost 3 times expensive, 2 times, 3 times expensive than these state universities. So that is one as well. Yeah.
Guys, we have a form here pinned in the comments. If you can see that, LeapScholar, send in your queries. Here, you can connect with Saket, so you can put your queries over there, and then Saket was going to prepare a video on your query. So yes,
Yep.
keep watching from next week. So please keep watching all the videos that we are coming up soon with. Here, all your queries will be answered in the form of a video. So please go ahead and fill your queries in the form pinned over there in the comments. I think you all can see that. Can you all see that? Type yes. Let us know. Can you all see that? Yes, Divyank, first class in graduation, 7.5 in IELTS. Can I get admission in Humber College, Toronto?
Yes, you can. Pretty straightforward. I think pretty good score and first division. You can also go for a better college. If you have a 4-year undergraduate degree, then maybe you can go for a very, very good university as well.
Okay. Anudeep is asking backlogs. I have a gap in BTech. We have already done for the questions like that Anudeep is asking, or Harshika, for financial requirements for different countries. We have already done a YouTube live in the last week. Also for yes, all backlogs and all, we have done a YouTube live, Anudeep. I think you have missed our previous lives. So here we have a question. I have a gap in BTech, and how many backlogs are allowed in USA? And with 55% BTech percentage, we can study for masters in USA.
Okay, Anudeep, I think I'm not really sure how many backlogs you have, but I think on an average, if you want to get into a decent university, and plus 55 is not a very, very high percentage, I would say, but yeah, there would be some universities that can offer you admission, but I'll not recommend more than say 7 to 8 backlogs, not more than that. I think that is even because see your overall profile kind of because your percentage is less and then you have additional backlogs, so it does affect your overall profile. So I will not say more than 5 or 6, max 7 for a stretch.
Right.
You can try Canada actually. Some universities might give you admission. Yeah.
Yeah, Harshika, we have also done the previous video that we did was on scholarships and bursaries and funds. So you can also check onto that. Will you be eligible for that? So she's asking, she's got 96% in 10th standard. Will she be eligible for scholarships anywhere? You have to apply. You have to apply in order to avail scholarships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Abhay and Akash. Abhay is asking, I asked about MBA in Australia or New Zealand but the problem is I have 3 years UG in BBA, and in Australia, most of the universities want 4 years, like Tasmania, Brisbane International University. So
that's
what is
strange. I don't know. Australia, they do accept 3 years undergraduate degree, but I'm not really sure where did you do your BBA? Because one thing which matters, again, obviously one thing which also matters is the kind of reputation or your undergraduate institution carries. But I think with a 3-year UG, I think you can get into Deakin or La Trobe University as well, and they're pretty good universities. UTS Sydney is okay. Deakin and La Trobe will accept you without work experience as well. So I'm not really sure where it is coming from, because I have seen a lot of students with three years UG going to Australia for a master's degree.
Right. I'll take up one last question from Akash Pal. He's saying, I have a 3-year bachelor degree in IT and wanted to pursue masters in data science in Canada. And do I have 2 internships in data science? Is it possible to make it in TRU Canada?
Right. 3 years bachelor's in IT, and I think masters will not be possible, obviously, because you don't have a 4-year undergraduate. But yeah, so if you have internship, so yeah, so you have a relevant profile, you can apply for a PG diploma or something. But with a 3-year undergraduate degree, I don't think so it would be possible for a master's.
Right. So guys, you already have a form over there pinned in the comment box. Please go and fill up the form, type in your queries, and we are coming up with a video where Saket will be answering all your queries through the videos. So do keep filling the form. The more the entries, the more the videos, and the more information that you get, right? So yes, Divyank, Ishwarya, Suman, Bani, Anudeep, I would request you all to please put in your information in the form, send in your queries to us through the form, and your queries will be answered by Saket. Right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. It was really fun having you all over here. Every time that I'm live, I really am excited coming here and talking to a lot of students here live. So thank you, Saket. Thank you. See you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. See you again next week. Till then, keep researching.
Right. Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Saket.